Welcome, colleagues. George Sloan from Myford University. This is going to be a series of videos I'm going to do talking about YouTubers and influencers that I like. And in this particular case, I'm going to be talking about regular people economics. This playlist that I'm going to curate with these videos will effectively give you, a real world, regular person in the street, so to speak, economics perspective. Granted, you can go and get knowledge and information from elites, quote unquote, many of them self-described, but I prefer looking at things from a number of different perspectives and doing sort of a 360 view in terms of getting my ideas and information. This is not necessarily for confirmation bias, but it helps to get varied perspectives. And I try to even think of them geographically to get an idea that not just what's in my local echo chamber, if you will. So I hope you enjoy these videos, and we're going to do a series of them, and then again there'll be a curated playlist with samples of some of the videos that I watch on YouTube from these creators. With that, we'll get to it. Welcome back, George Sloan. Another edition, another profile for my regular people economics. Um, this individual, unlike all the others that I'm going to talk about, and I've got one more behind him that I'm going to do. I've only just discovered him in the last month or two. I have seen all the others for several years. I only recently found this individual, and the thing that's really interesting is uh, he's the one I most closely align with. It's shocking, some of the things that he comes up with, and his perspectives on things. And his name is Aaron Clarey, and he's different, and he's a little rough around the edges, and he might not be to everyone's taste. If you're a little sensitive, the thing that's really different about him is he does common man economics. However, he's got a background in economics and analysis, very similar to mine as well. Um, when I found him, I was really finding him because of his work and discussions on education, which kind of ties into my perspective that it's all bullshit. Um, but with him, his cynicism and skepticism and his lack of patience for suffering fools resonates very strongly with me. And again, I have a lot in common with his perspectives on things. His views on education, careers, and general discussed with corporations' lack of understanding that providing value for a fair price makes a lot more sense in the long run. Yeah, Aaron, I feel your frustration. You have no idea. Um, Again, Aaron is a little rough around the edges, and may rub some people the wrong way. But honestly, if he rubs you the wrong way, you probably shouldn't be looking at this kind of content anyway, and just go along with everybody else. Um, you know, the common observation that I've noticed with him is he provides brutal truth bombs, and that's what is probably going to upset some people, which is a common observation that my wife makes about me. She goes, you sometimes you should hold back and not really tell the truth because you upset people. And I've reached the point, and it's clear Aaron has too. I really don't care anymore. I'd rather tell you that the emperor is naked and upset some people by saying that, than to sit there in silence. My ability to, filter and filter out the bullshit is gone. And you'll see if you watch some of Aaron's work, you're going to get the same vibe there. Um, you can't be afraid to call bullshit, especially with all the bullshit that's flying around today. And Aaron is not, and that's what he really appeals to me for. Because again, um, it's not just me. I was glad to say and find out that there's other people that feel as strongly about it as I do. Another interesting note: Aaron is another walking fan, much like Michael Bordenero and myself. Aaron does a little bit more of the hiking aspect of it. But there's something to be said about that. I think that getting out and getting a walk in not only clarifies your thoughts and frees up your mind, but you'll be shocked at the ideas that'll hit you when you're out there doing it. Aaron escaped from Minnesota. You'll hear him talk about it quite a bit. He comes from South Dakota these days. And is living a very nice, comfortable life that he has curated for himself. I highly recommend that you check him out. The thing about Aaron is, again, he's an acquired taste, but I don't think that you'll be disappointed. I'm adding him to the regular People's Economics and putting in some samples of his videos that I like, and I would highly recommend you check him out. We'll see you in the next one. I got one more coming up. All right, so you've gone through some of the profiles and the collection of regular People Economics that I put into a particular playlist. Just want to sort of close this idea out. And I'll probably be adding more. In fact, I'm inviting some of you to, all of you, to give me some names of other individuals that I might want to check out. Again, I believe in having an open mind, being fully objective. I don't have to agree with everybody. There's some people that I talk about and will talk about on this channel, have in the past and will in the future, where I am diametrically opposed to a lot of their ideas and opinions. However, there's enough common ground and there's enough insight to be gained from certain aspects of these individuals. Let me give you a quick example of that. I'm going to be doing more on presentational speaking, and I'm going to put some presentational speakers in that I admire for their ability to speak in solid terms, and I like their delivery, I like their approach, their technique. I may not agree with what they're saying, and you might not agree, but you have to give credit where credit is due, and you've got to say, hey, there's something to be learned from this person. Maybe you don't like their content, but the form, the what they're delivering, the way they deliver, that might be of benefit and it's worth recommending. And I feel the same way about this. That's why, again, I don't agree with 100% of everything these folks in this collection say, but I think there's enough value to be gleaned and gained from them on certain areas, because again, you have to find areas of common ground even if you don't fully agree with 100% of what they have to say. So when you go through this playlist and other content material on my channel, please bear this in mind. Always remember, there's a lot to be gained by having that open mind and objectivity, and you don't have to listen and absorb everything they say. We don't believe in echo chambers. I like differing opinions, different approaches, and I try to learn something from everybody. Even if 80% of what they say I don't agree with, and I get something from the 20%. Again, I think that a lot of you should, if you agree with that, that's great. If you don't agree with that currently, I think you should reassess and reevaluate. So please, I'm asking, if you have ideas of folks that might fit into this playlist, please leave it in the comments. I'll be glad to look into them, glad to give them a profile, and glad to put them in here. With that, I want to thank you. Appreciate your viewership as always. Please subscribe. We have the Myford University channel, which is what you're on. We have the MBA Accelerator channel for more things MBA oriented. And then give us a like and a share. Do not keep us a secret. I'm George Sloan. I want to thank you. And remember, we believe in learning it fast and applying it faster. We'll see you the next time.